you could not misjudge somebody more based on their size than Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson, is he not just taking every like wide receiver sizest and like giving him a noogie?
4 catches for 105 and a touchdown. Actually, it was his first 100-yard game of the season.
Look at the release.
There's your separation.
Great route.
Stutter and go. Gets by clean.
That is unbelievable.
Maybe the greatest catch I've ever seen.
Jahan Dotson had a huge game. You spoke of it briefly here. Washington taking on the New York Football Giants here, but a big game here on Sunday Night Football, right? Like he had, 4 catches for 105 and a touchdown. Actually, it was his first 100-yard game of the season. And man, we say this about like somebody like Chris Carter. All he does is catch touchdowns. That's all this guy does, though. 6 touchdowns on 41 targets. It's a 14.6% touchdown rate. That's almost triple of what the league average is in terms of, touchdowns to target ratio, which is just under 5%. So Jahan Dotson, man, he's making big plays for this Washington offense.
Man, Jahan Dotson, is he not just taking every like wide receiver sizest and like giving him a noogie or stuffing him in a locker right now? Because if you told the sizest, then these people will drive me nuts. Like everything about wide receivers, all about your size, whatever. It's like 16 air yards per target last night against the Giants. 2 end zone targets. You mentioned all the touchdowns he's been catching all year long. I mean, the guy is unbelievable at the catch point. If you showed the people those like stats or whatever, be like, oh, he's got to be 6'2", got to be 220. No, he's not. He's just a baller. He's tiny, but he is the man, dude. I'm telling you, this guy, what a flair for the dramatic he's got at the catch point. It's a skill set, man, and that's who he was at college. You could not misjudge somebody more based on their size than Jahan Dotson, because this was the guy he was in college, man. I mean, his reception perception profile, I said he had the best hands in the entire draft this year. He had some of the best contested catch chops, and he's a good route runner. He was great against zone coverage in his reception perception profile in college. Now, was a little bit up and down in his first few games in the rookie report, but still right around league average in terms of separation. But he looks great now that he's healthy. And these last 2 games, 15 combined targets before and then the game after the bye. I think this guy is going to be a really good player. And him and Terry McLaurin just make such a fascinating duo, man. But hey, I love Jahan Dotson because I just love how he is just obliterating these wide receiver size stereotypes, bro. I mean, the guy is what is he actually? He's like sub 180 pounds, something like that. Jahan Dotson.
At the combine, he measured in 5'11", 178. That is small.
But look at it. But look at how he plays at the catch point. Look at how he has complete and total comfort with somebody right there in his hip pocket. I think he is very. We talked about Tyler Lockett on a recent show and called him like the best deep ball tracker in the NFL. Jahan Dotson is very much like, I think he's going to be in that regard sooner or later, the way he is so comfortable tracking the ball in short areas, in tight spaces, down the field. Like his touchdown catch, obviously the big 60+ yarder that from Heineke there was impressive. The way he adjusted to that. But
that is insane, his ability to adjust to that ball. And he abuses defenders deep downfield because defenders don't have that body control, and he does, right? Yeah. And he almost looks like he's big brothering them at like 5'11", 178. You know what I mean? He just kind of brushes them off to the side and is like, oh, let me just step in there and grab that ball. It's just, deep ball tracking certainly is there. And man, the body control, the hand-eye coordination is just, unbelievable.
His touchdown catch, I think, was a great example of just body control, because he runs a great route in man coverage against the defender as an outside receiver, and gets him to he flips him across his face, comes inside, and the ball's a little bit behind him, a little bit late, but he's able to stop and adjust and grab it in tight spaces there. Like I would consider that to be like a potential contested catch as well. I just think he's such a fun player. I don't really know where his ceiling is, stuff like that, but him and McLaurin make such an awesome duo, and Samuel's a great third receiver there for them to have. I wish Washington, if I could have one complaint about their offense, and I'm like weirdly invested in all of these Washington receivers, and I've got a thing with Taylor Heineke, like go to use finest, the whole thing. So I care about Washington. I like Scott Turner.
Yeah.
I got Brian Robinson on like all my dynasty teams because I thought he was like getting a lot of disrespect for being a 3rd round pick and like a kind of a grinder back they needed. But man, if they could just take the Curtis Samuel rushing plays and fire those into the sun, I would be happy, man. I mean, you got a big bruising back in Brian Robinson. Stop running Curtis Samuel up the gut. Like if you want to get the ball to Curtis, just throw it to him. He's a good receiver. Just stop him with the rushing plays.